Guys, it's only 66 days until the start of the NBA season. That means it's mock draft season. Let's get into it. G'day guys, I'm D-Mac from NBA Fantasy Bible, and here we have our first mock draft of the season on this channel. It's a 9-cat head-to-head 12-team league. I'm drafting from pick 5. I've got a couple of mates joining me tonight as well. Let's get straight into it. Okay, and with me to help me through this mock draft today is Matty G, great friend of the show. I know you laughed last time, but great friend of the show, my friend.
Old mate of the show, like an OG mate of the show, mate. Only you. We're so much friends that I'm doing this at 9 o'clock on a Saturday night while my wife is away in another state and I'm looking after the kids by myself. So, yay.
Yeah, I was just saying that. What would you rather be doing, this or heading out partying? Maybe this. Depends on the week that you've had. But like I said at the top of the show, 9-cat head-to-head mock draft here in Fantrax. We've got a room full of 12 really keen drafters. Our friend, our other good friend, Adam King, was supposed to be on the show with us tonight, but he's having some technical issues. He will be drafting, and he'll be drafting on his phone as well. We are 2 minutes away from the start of the draft. Matty G, you requested pick number 1, and why is that, mate?
Two reasons. One, we've done a few of these now, just like in the industry pickup kind of stuff, not industry pickup league stuff, but just picking up invitations from friends in the community. And I've really nailed like what I'm feeling in the middle of the drafts. I've done 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then the last one was 12. So I haven't even had a taste of the front yet. And it's the old dilemma: do we take Wemby or do we take Jokic? And I have a build from last year that I did with Wemby, and I'm going to see if I can recreate it this year.
All right, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I sort of recall that you've done a Wemby going into a JJJ maybe in the 3rd round in the past. I'm not sure if that was last year or maybe in a previous year, but
I think last year we did a JJJ into the 3rd round before everything went sideways, obviously in Memphis. But trying to do this, there is one that I think I mentioned to, I think it was Steve St. Pierre the other day, maybe.
Right.
And there's a very sexy possible 1, 2, and 4. Actually, it was Dan Titus. Oh, I'm going to bring up the text chain.
Yeah,
and
right.
I have a sexy, like, you can't miss with blocks in a league with this one. So I'm going to give it a crack. This is the Titus build.
And while that is happening, we just mentioned Adam King. He's actually here. So he's going to try to work through the technical issues. You can see that it's either really frosty, very snowy where he is, or there's some issues with the internet. But we are 40 seconds away from the start of the draft, Matty G. You have pick number 1. Kingy, welcome to the show. Hopefully we can get you through. Pick 11.
Yeah. Look, let's see how we go. All of a sudden, everything started working. So can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear us?
I can. So
loud and clear.
Possibly, yeah. All my web pages all lit up and loaded up. So I don't know what happened. But yeah, pick 11. Let's go.
Pick 11. Now, there's 3 people not yet in the draft room. I might pause this, which is great. We'll edit this out later. Awesome. Always cool.
Come on, MFHFB. Get your act together.
Yeah, get in here. Look, we'll go through the first couple. If they auto draft, so be it. But I think the top, and hopefully it's done by ADP as well. It should be pretty straightforward.
And it is. And look, we know the 1, 2, 3 is going to be Wemby, who I'm going to take, and I'm just going to buy time for a second. I'm going to go to the last second to try and get old mate, because it's 2 and 3 are going to auto draft. We know that's going to be Jokic, and we know that's SGA. So look, I'll just take Wemby with those last seconds to go. I think he might have said his cue, those, or he's popped in. He's popped in at the last second.
Popped in. Yeah, good. I'm at pick 5. There's a lot of conjecture around who should be going at in the top 5. I'm going to go Cade Cunningham. I think a lot of people are going Giannis, but this is a personal preference. I just don't like building around Giannis. And Kingy, you probably love building around Giannis at 5.
I do not.
Oh, you don't?
I should, but I don't.
Okay. Going against what I thought. Okay.
No. It does seem like a bit of a Kingy special, doesn't it?
It does, but he doesn't get defensive stats.
Right.
This is the thing. He's not what he used to be in that way. And I think in our industry, like in the community of analysts, he's actually ADP right now is sitting point on 12. So it's like, do you take him in the first round?
Yep. And just to recap, we did have another auto at pick 6, and that was Tyrese Maxey. Some people had taken him at 6. So 1 Wemby, 2 Jokic, 3 SGA, 4 Luka, 5 Cunningham, 6 is Maxi, 7 Ant Edwards, 8 is on the clock again. Tommy 85, he just joined us 5 minutes ago, but he's not in the draft room, so hopefully gets back in shortly. But next, we're thinking probably Jason Tatum. You can see on the board there, we've got Jason Tatum, Jalen Johnson, Giannis. Somewhat surprising, hasn't gone in the top 7.
I love it when people take Anthony Edwards in the first round. Do they think it's a points league? Do we think that this is the year that he actually makes it into the first round?
I don't mind him in the first round.
Yeah, I'm not as against it as I have been in the past. There's still other players I think I'd rather, but I'm not as opposed to it. All right, I'm on the clock.
You're on the clock. Jalen Johnson at 8. Giannis went at 9. JT, Jason Tatum went at 10. And Kingy, you go on Cooper Flag.
Yep. I don't know why.
First round.
Preseason hype.
Yeah, preseason hype. That's right. No, look, I don't know.
Or is it real? We think he could be a first rounder.
Well, he could be. I don't know. I just think he'll be a fun player to have on rosters this season.
Absolutely. Now, 30-second pick, so very rapid draft. Donovan Mitchell went at the end of first round. First pick of the second round, Trae Young. Too high, guys?
Possibly, but I don't know. It's all pretty close here.
Yeah.
Okay. Amen Thompson went 2-2 to Kingy. Is this building a certain direction that you're going? You're going for a certain build there, Kingy, or not so much?
Not yet. Probably going to have to punt through. Well, look at punting threes with those two guys. No, nothing specific yet. I was considering Halliburton there.
Yeah, and Halliburton went right after you, so he went at pick 15, followed by Scotty Barnes. I do like that one there. Did see Scotty Barnes probably going at the back end of the first round in early mock drafts, and so he's sort of sliding into the second round now. Tommy, this is his second pick, so he'll be auto-drafted, so that's a shame. But who are we thinking? Who's next on the board? Is it KD? In terms of ADP, it is Kevin Durant.
KD, Anthony Towns, and one Stephen Curry in what is going to be an interesting year for the Golden State Warriors. And I think maybe that's one of the reasons he's a first-round player historically, or around the end of the first round. I think there's a little bit of trepidation in drafts this year about, will he play a lot of games? There's just that kind of talk that's happening of it. Maybe he doesn't even reach 60 games this year. And do you want to expel this pick on a guy who's going to play like 55 to 60 games? We can get someone in the 70 range.
Yeah, you're right. And we did have the schedule drop just the other day as well. So we went through some of those back-to-backs. Just off the top of my head, the 76ers have 13 back-to-backs as well. So it'll be interesting to see where the likes of LeBron and Embiid are drafted as well. 13 is the equal lowest, which is, I guess it's a good thing. I do need to get my thinking cap on because I am actually on the clock right now. I might go.
And we are doing third round reversal. Is that right?
Third round reversal. Yeah. I've got.
Oh no, that throws my plan out the window.
Okay. I'm really high on Austin Reeves this season. I think he can be a second rounder. I think that's a lot higher than his current ADP indicates, but I think we'll see that go up. LaMelo Ball straight after him. New team, new environment. That was to Air Force 1, 2, 3.
Am I going to be?
Any surprises so far, guys?
Not really. Halliburton probably fell a little bit more than I thought he would.
I was thinking that would probably, him out of the first round is a surprise. I'm surprised you didn't grab him when the opportunity there. Kingy?
Yeah, I do like him, but I also, I wanted Anthony Davis. Everyone knows I like Amen Thompson too, so I have to stay on.
Everyone knows. You stick into it. He's still there.
Here we go, Matty G. Who are you taking here? Who are you pairing up with Wemby here?
Well, no, it's because of the third round reversal. I'm going to change my tack and see if I can land a plane on this. I'm going to drop one of my favorites because I can't ever leave him on the board, especially now. I can't leave him and now think that he'll come back to me at 36 because Kingy's there and I know that he's smart and you're smart and there's no way that he's going to come back to me. And of all the guys around this time, I always say at the end of the second round, if you can get a guy who can nudge into your first round, like Anthony Davis, like Kingy just said, I love it. He must have been, you wanted him in the beginning of the third round there.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was hoping it'd fall to 20, whatever that is, 26.
26.
So
Yeah.
Kawhi at 24. Some would say controversial, but a huge upside, as you said, Matty G. Some are trying to avoid. We're still not really sure where he's going to end up, if he's going to be at the Clippers or at the Raptors, but I'm expecting that he will make that move to the Raptors as well. But next pick of the first pick of the third round was Jamal Murray. I do like Jamal Murray. I don't see him falling away. Had a first round type of season last season as well. Yeah, clear first rounder. Chet Holmgren goes at pick 26. I think we forget how good he was during the regular season, and particularly in a category situation. Holmgren in the third round, I really like. Trey Murphy follows him at 3-3, followed by Josh Giddey. So, Kingy, you took Chet. Take us through that. Is that pretty much looking for your defensive stats that you were massive on?
Yeah, I think so. And Chet was the top 20 player pretty much all of last season. So, yeah, I think he's probably, like, looking at my team here, comparing it to some of these others, I'm probably going to struggle in points a bit as well. I don't really, I mean, Flag will be decent, but Amen Thompson, Chet Holmgren aren't 20-point scorers. So I may have to end up hunting points here. We'll see what happens.
Yep. Now, third round reversal is interesting on this build that I was playing with, because you're not here, so I can talk about it before they go. Jalen Williams is a nice fit here. He was on my radar. It was either going to be Jalen Williams or Kawhi there, to be fair, because I think we forget how good Jalen Williams is because of last year and that frustration of owning him. Kingy's actually just sniped me at the other end of this round, because this Wemby build focuses on at the beginning of the third round. So take whoever you want, best player that you want with first round upside. If you're on the clock at 1, not a third round reversal. Why took Kawhi? Pairing it up, though, at the beginning of the third round with a Chet Holmgren, or if I can get him next, a Walker Kessler, just to really get those blocks and security down. There, and he's there. So true to my word, I am going to absolutely have to take him. And
Walker at 36.
36 is fine. And I'm going to see if I can get another guy back. I haven't got to draft him yet. Let's do it. Let's roll the dice with Kyrie.
Kyrie. So two sort of risky players in Kawhi and Kyrie, but I know you like to live a little bit risky there, Matty G. So the upside is massive there. I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Just Kyrie Irving sitting down the fourth round. I mean, you love a sexy point guard. Is he going to come back to me if he's on there and 2 more picks?
He probably wouldn't have. But yeah,
Brandon Miller's a good pick. Kyrie. That's who I was thinking of. Brandon Miller was the only other guy in my queue just then. And that's a really solid pick there. Jalen Duren, a little bit of uncertainty there, but good center. A lot of centers running off the board in the last little bit too.
Yeah, definitely. So Duren is taken there. I'm coming up. So Jaylen Brown goes at the fourth pick, the fourth round. I'm going to take Derek White. Now, I took him accidentally in the second round, auto-drafted, auto-picked in another mock draft, but fourth round feels a lot nicer.
Yeah, fourth round is good value for Derek White there.
I think so too. Looking at the analyst data, pick 31 has been the average after 3 big drafts for Jalen Brunson. So seeing him go there at 42, that's a very decent pick for him as well.
That's a great pick. I really like Jalen Brunson. We know what we're getting with Jalen. We haven't gone through all the names in the third round. We did speak about Trey Murphy, went at 3-3. Josh Giddey, 3-4. James Harden, is that a drop? He's gone in the middle of the third round.
Uncertainty, Kingy, you think? Just about where's he going to play, the contract signing. Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah, I think so. Harden wasn't fantastic when he went to Cleveland. He'll still be good, but he's 30. Is he 37, 36, 37? He's pretty old now. Oh, I'm on the clock.
You're on the clock. Yeah, we'll stop talking so you can focus. So after Brunson, you take your pick, Kingy. But after Brunson was Denny Avdia. Domantas Sabonis followed him. Darius Garland, one of my guys. I really like him coming into this season. Onyeka Okongwu. And Dyson Daniels, of course. True-born Dyson Daniels.
Love it.
And Desmond Bain rounds out the end of the fourth round. Kneppel. I like Kneppel this season.
Okay.
I do like that. I think the promise of Kneppel is really intoxicating. I think people are like, I love him. He's been so good. And I don't know. I think he'll be great. I am just not sure if a tanking Charlotte team is always the best. He could be like a top 50 bloke, or he could fall outside the top 75 at the end of the day. So I'm really curious to see which way it goes. But you know from last year, I love the bloke. I think he's an
You love the
outstanding
nipple.
player.
You love the nipple.
Love the
And
nipple.
Kingy loves the big man in Zach Eady. We all love Zach Eady. But it's a matter of the health. But we know his upside. He was a top 30 guy in, 11 games last season. So not a huge sample size, but when he did play, he looked tremendous. But if you guys, okay, going back to Kneppel, you taking Kneppel or Brandon Miller if you had to choose?
Oh, I'm taking Brandon Miller.
Yeah, I think Miller still. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. After Edie was Pascal Siakam. LeBron James followed him. So LeBron James, is that a fall to the fifth round? Probably not. It's probably about right. Paolo Banchero. And we've got Tommy back online, which is great. But he's taken Banchero there. DeJounte Murray, he was a guy that I was considering with my next pick. Nikhil Alexander-Walker. And now I am on the clock. Let's have a look. I'm going to take one of...
Hugh's been decimated again. Kingy, I love that from you because this is a similar one that I was looking at. I actually had Edie pegged with this build that I'm going with the Wemby compliments around this one. So that's you with Edie and Chet. This is kind of in your draft room. You need to notice the person. Oh, there goes Cam Boozer. Hello, upside. You kind of notice who's going to
first rookie off the board. Yeah, and he's generally been going around that point. I remember the first pick of the 6th round in the previous mock draft I was in. But 5th round, I think that's about right.
Well, he's been pick 40 overall in our analyst drafts. The average is 40.3 for Cam Boozer. And in our last draft, Cam Boozer, I should keep my... Oh, there he goes, damn it. Donovan Clingan was the one that I was keeping my eye on, if not Zach Edey. So there is one other pivot that I'm hoping doesn't get sniped from me right now. And I'm going to have to think about that very quickly on the fly. Let me focus.
Yep, you focus, mate. We'll take you through the other picks as well. I took Franz Wagner, bit of a very disappointing last season, injury ravaged season last season, but I took him with the 8th pick of the 5th round. I think he can return that value. Cam Boozer, as we mentioned, Donovan Clingan went at 5'10". Khalil Ware, I do like his per minute upside there. With
and that's just the 2 guys I had in my queue gone. So I'm going to pick on my options for a second.
And it's not surprising that Ware went ahead of Miles Turner as well, even though we think that Miles Turner will be the starting center to begin the season. Tyler Hero, true to form. You were massive on him going into last season. Again, injury ravaged. But you've taken him at pick 60. Now you're back on the clock.
Yeah, I'm going to. This guy's been looking really good in draft now, in workouts. And I'm really hyped for Jaden McDaniels this year. It might be early, but I think these wings like him, OG Anunoby, the Brandon Millers, I think Jaden McDaniels with a lot of spacing in Minnesota, and with his defensive stats, because they're going to need him, and we also what he did in the playoffs, I think he's a guy that I've really got my eye on. And I just see wings going off left, right, and center. We saw a bunch go then, Franz Wagner, Cam Boozer, Banchero, LeBron James, Con Knippel. I think they're going to be a pound. I think there's a lot of value to be get out of those 3 and D archetypes this season, and I'm going to need it. And I think Jaden McDaniels always fires up, and he's probably going to be a buy low, and then he comes on at the end of the season. He's a top 50, 60 player, and that's what I want, and that's where I'm taking him around.
And perhaps LaMelo Ball may actually help Jaden McDaniels' offensive game as well. So McDaniels, you've taken at 61, Keontae George at 62. Obviously had a fantastic breakout season last season. More mouths to feed this season. Joel Embiid at 63. Yeah, not too bad. Zubac at 64, and I'm on the clock. I've got 7 seconds. Let's do it. I have queued Matas Buzelis, though, so I do like myself.
I love Buzelis. The booze bus.
Buzelis.
The booze bus is in play.
There. Yeah, I think he finished the end of last season really strongly, and I think he continues that this season.
I'm really... Bloody hell, King, you've undone me with Edie, and then the 2 blokes in front of me with Clingan and Ware really just pissed me off.
Yeah, I was hoping Ware would come back to me. I mean, there's almost no chance.
No, there wasn't, because on that build, if I'm going to be a smart guy at the end of that, if I see you're building up with an Edie or a Holmgren, you got to kind of double down there. Like you can just see your defensive stats as usual are just sexy as. So you've got to. That's where I kind of hope Jaden McDaniels gives me some competitive steals there to help offset with guys like Kawhi Leonard and Victor Wembanyama. So got to get those. You can't just say I'm going to get blocks because you've got Victor Wembanyama, can you?
Not when I'm in the league.
No.
No, because I would have taken. Yeah, I mean Kessler. I'm going to try and get him anywhere I can this season.
Yeah, me too.
And so I mean Wemby. He obviously puts you in a very, very, very good position in terms of blocks, but but again, know who you're drafting against.
So straight after Bazelis was OG Anunoby. He will be solid once again. Naz Reid in a new environment. I think that's a nice pick as well. Stefan Castle, 6th round in a category league. You guys still okay with that? Obviously, he's got some deficiencies, but obviously high usage as well. King, you've just taken Asar Thompson. So you've taken the Thompson twins. Again, true to form.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're at, what are we at, 70? Yeah, 70. I'm fine with Asar. Oh, man, that comes back to me quickly. And Asar was taken.
And George. I like that double up. That's a really nice turn there by Lucho.
Yep, I love that. Was both of the guys in my queue, so thank you very much. Okay. So taking us through, Steph Castle. We're okay with that in a category league in the 6th round?
Fine.
Fine.
Like, I think
Dame went straight after.
Do we just think he's priced out on hype at this point in time? Like, there's just a lot of talk around him. I don't know. Is he going to be a top 100 guy?
I just think it's interesting that he's gone ahead of Fox. De'Aaron Fox obviously had a really poor playoffs as well. I'm looking at Fox in and around this sort of area, and I think he can have a bit of a bounce back as well. Darren Sharp, okay. One of our guys we've spoken about as a breakout guy, but he's probably the earliest I've seen.
Yeah, that's high.
It is early.
It's high, but he's got that upside. He does have that upside. But let's see. It's the tanking nets as well.
Find him.
Yeah, have a look how Dayron's going. But Dame in the 6th round, I do like. And Kingy, I know that we've spoken about it on your show as well. So
yeah, that's very good for Dame there. I mean, people are going to be cautious, rightfully. But, I think getting him, what was that, 70-ish? Round pick 70? I don't see any way he falls below that.
Yeah, Julius Randle was taken with 6'10". You obviously took Asar. And then Alex Sarr. Paul George, I really like. We spoke about that. Zion in the 7th round. Yep. Quickly, 7'3". Dayron Sharp, we spoke about 7'4". MPJ at 7'5". Okay. Dylan Harper. This is probably also quite high compared to what I've seen so far. I'm on the clock. I need to focus. I'm going to talk. Yeah, I'm going to walk the walk. Talk the talk, walk the walk. I was going
to say, you're going to go Fox, aren't you?
Yeah. And guess what? I've got no big men. I've got no centers. So I need to start focusing on centers.
You do. I'm looking okay. I've got a couple of nice point guards in here. Not a lot of dual position guys at this point in time, so I'm looking into that. But I've also got that build in the back. VJ was one that I like that. And I love Kobe White. He's on my radar and in my queue, probably a tad early, but
I think I know who you're thinking about very shortly. He's an often injured guy or sick guy. You love taking him pretty late.
I'm not taking him. I took him in the last draft, I'm pretty sure.
You're not taking him? You're not taking him. Okay.
I'm not taking him.
You're not taking KP. You know who I'm talking about.
I know. Chris Stapps. Yeah, I'm not taking KP. Oh, you son of a bitch. He's Gobert. This guy's killing me. This initials guy. Oh, that's who I was taking. That's Gobert was my guy. Okay, I'm going to that really sucks. That really sucks. For this build, I was really looking into that. So I'm going to have to pivot away for a second. I'm going to take someone in my queue that I really like right now. I love his fit in Chicago. I see very good things for him there.
Mm-hmm.
And
I do like that.
I am going to, I'm taking, stop counting down your music I hear. I'm going to take one because it's coming up to late. I just need a good big-bodied center, and I'm probably going to take a bounce-back season from Miles Turner in a rebuilding Milwaukee lineup just to give me some extra points, rebounds, and kook me with him believing he can shoot. But just buoys me a little bit. But Gobert was my pick, but I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
So interestingly, Miles Turner taken 3 rounds, not exactly full 3 rounds, but 3 rounds after Kelly Ware. So that is interesting in itself. We know that Kelly Ware probably has the higher upside if it was pound for pound. But let's watch this space. But Ja Morant is taken straight after Miles Turner. Ja Morant, backlog of guards. We do love our guards, Matty G, but is that he's obviously taken after Dame Lillard? Is that going to be somewhat fruitful, getting him in the 8th round?
Look, I don't know how it's going to work. I know he's got a new grill and he's got very shiny teeth now, which is great for Ja.
Looks flashy, yeah.
Looks very flashy. Look, I don't trust the backcourt combination in Portland at this point in time. I took him last time to see how I actually in the analyst draft, just to see how I felt about it. I felt dirty. I didn't like it so much. So for me, Brandon Ingram, I like it. No, yes, no. Is he doing it?
Yeah, I'm doing it. You can see what I'm doing.
Like Claxton, these are the other guys I was looking at as well. Jarrett Allen, Nick Claxton. I mean, people have gone soft on Jarrett Allen. We've seen him have like 2nd, 3rd round value for spates of time. Mark Williams was a darling of ours last year. Kingy, you just read over that article. He was one of the guys who I called the death of the darling. How some of these value guys are gone. It's kind of that case where Mark Williams now in a draft is really sexy, whereas last year we had to reach for them a little bit.
Yeah, I think people have almost given up on Mark Williams. I think just last season was pretty underwhelming. And I know Malawach was good at Summer League, but I still think Mark Williams is going to start and play 28 minutes.
Me too. Me too.
He was really solid in limited minutes. I think those minutes can come up this season. Yeah, it's a bit of hype on Malawach. But speaking of hype, Derek Queen, 8-9. I just don't really know how it's going to gel alongside of Zion at 8-9. Ayo Dosunmu at 8-10. We're rounding out the 8th round. Kingy, you're on the clock. So he's going to solidify his build.
I was hoping Claxton would fall to me here as well.
That was one of the guys I had my eye on. I've gone Turner. I do see a bit of a bounce back for him, but in my heart of hearts, I think Claxton was the guy who I kind of felt that I should get, but I wasn't sure I should. I've been hurt by him too much, but could have paired him up a nice little duo combo with him and Powell, the new Chicago boys.
Okay.
So, Colin Murray-Boyle, take us through that one. CMB.
I will. Just let me make this pick.
How good would it be? CMB into Pirtle. Jakob Pirtle. Double up. Hedge your bets. Tamara Kamara did round out the 8th round as well. So John Collins, and as we said, Kingy is now thinking about how he's going to make his team almost invincible. Namesh Keita, as Matty G, you love to call him the quesadilla, but Keita should be the starting center for Boston. Mitchell Robinson is probably another guy that if Kingy has him available in the next round, he'll probably pick him up as well.
Possibly. Murray Boyles, I'm pretty high on him this season. I think he'll play as much, if not more, minutes than Pirtle. Play a bit of center, a bit of forward. He's kind of a Scotty Barnes light, so can get some rebounds, a couple of assists, good defensive stats, pretty efficient. Doesn't score a lot, but I've obviously punted points a long time ago. So, I'm pretty high on Murray Boyles. I think he might have a good year.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, man. I love that. I think it's a solid pick for CMB to get some more run this year. I think overall he's been nothing short of excellent in that playoff run. I think he's really a piece that Toronto wanted, and they got to showcase him last year. And I think with Kawhi coming into town and them wanting to be, this is also we're starting to see these upside guys. There we go. A couple of guys from Mike Hugh. I'm gonna have to lock in a second. We know I loved Ty Jerome last year. It pleases the heart to see him getting attention this year, but it also breaks it quite significantly at the exact same time. These points are starting to fly off left, right, and center. Nurkic.
I've just taken use of Nurkic, and I think starting center, it's probably a little bit early, but I needed a center, and he provides me the rebounds, obviously not the blocks, but he can get sneaky steals as well. I think he's solidified as that starting center. Some really nice upside picks here. I really like that Jalen Suggs pick. I think he can have top 60 type of season in category league. So getting him in the 9th round, great value. Howard as well, big on him as a bit of a late round flyer as well. I think the world is his oyster in that young Memphis team. Similar with Ty Jerome, but he's not as young. Caleb Wilson, another rookie off the list at 9-9. Cason Wallace has gone ahead. I
had my eye on him.
Yeah.
No, look, I love Kaysen because we all saw him fall off at the beginning of the season last year, and it was a little bit suspect. I'm just going to go Keegan Murray here.
Go on,
I
Keegan.
feel
Yep.
love a bit of a bounce back from him. And I'm going to go into someone who I got a little bit of flack on the other day from our show.
Tobias.
Oh, yeah. People were like,
Safe as
sell out on
houses.
Tobias Harris. Safe as houses, Harris. I need rebounds here. I need points and threes. I'm going to get that from Houses Harris. And I think him and Murray just really helps to insulate me a little bit with Norm Powell. I've got a lot of shooting, threes and points coming off the board right there. And we're now in the hundreds. And we're going to start to see points players go off really quickly very soon.
Yeah, and this is the spot where you want to be taking those upside plays, the flyer type of picks, such as Paul Reed. Now that's quite the flyer pick. He won't be the starting center. Perhaps that's sort of somewhat projecting that maybe Jalen Duren won't be there. By all accounts, he will be in Detroit as well. So that is quite the upside or flyer pick there by Sternhold at pick 10-3 as well. CJ McCullum's just off the board. I'm now on the clock. I might go safe, similar to your safe as houses, and go Miles Bridges, but I might go another safe pick as well. But Josh Hart, we don't think it's uncertain about Jalen Brunson, but just talk of his injury at the back end of last season as well. Does that open up a little bit more opportunity for Josh Hart as well? In the 10th round, I like him. We've seen him a couple seasons ago be the top 30, top 40 type of category league guy as well. Miles Bridges straight after that. That is an auto pick, but that's still a good, solid auto pick. AJ Mitchell, aforementioned AJ Mitchell, I do like that one. And Debansa,
come on,
another rookie off the board at 10-8.
Yeah,
is that someone you're looking at, Kingy?
AJ Mitchell was, yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised he fell. Now it's on me, and I have no idea. I don't like any of these players.
Now, boys, baby girl has woken up for 1 second. You switch to Kingy. I'll be right back in a hot second.
All right, sort that out, Daddy.
I'm going to draft from my phone.
Draft from your phone, but look after Bubs. Debansa went at 10-8. Zach Levine bounced back here. Massive contract at 10-9. Andrew Wiggins at 10-10 alongside of Giannis. And, Kingy, you've gone Tari Eason.
Yeah,
Steals?
I hate it. Steals. Hopefully a bounce back in terms of efficiency.
Yeah, horrible field goal percentage last season. But are we putting it down to just one season where he could not connect? Because previous seasons, obviously on lower volume, he was closer to that 50% mark from the field.
Yeah, I hope so. And I can absorb it. I mean, I've got a pretty strong build. This one's probably too early, but
Beringer. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just.
Gobert, you think Gobert might not hold up?
No, I think Gobert will hold up, but I think Beringer probably only needs 18 minutes to kind of get 1.5 blocks a game with 7 or 8 rebounds. And all I want him to do is rebound and block shots and score efficiently. And Gobert's not getting any younger, so no Nuz Reid. So Beringer is kind of the only backup they have. So I don't know. I mean, Gobert, does he play 31, 33? Who knows? But yeah, I like Beringer, so I'll take a flyer on him here.
Yeah, there's a few other flyers going on. Mamu, maybe a Lakers fan as well. So Mamu Kalishvili at 11-6. Peyton Watson, still not really sure where he's going to end up. Great. If he ends up in a nice spot, and there's been talk of him going to the Bucks as well, I think that's a good spot for him.
Yeah.
On Denver, not sure if he's a standard league guy. There's a lot of mouths to feed, but we saw his upside last season when all those guys were injured for the Nuggets. But yeah, good upside play on that one. And that was me. Sorry, I auto picked that one. He was in my.
You can unpick it. You can pause it and undo it. You can pause. We'll forgive you.
He was in my queue because I really just wanted to have a go at you as well, Matty G, because I know that he was someone that you spoke about on our show the other night, late round flyers. Yeah. Trejo, I'm coming around to Jones.
I think I'm not high on him. I just like the guy. I've liked him for a couple of years now. I think he's a really great, I think he's an additive player in fantasy. I think what he does, you son of it, these guys are really getting my goat on.
Pajemski, yeah. And Yeoman.
Yeah, 2 guys who I'm kind of short now, point guard wise.
I've got a few.
Am I going to have to go? One of my faves from last year. Guess who I'm going to go? One of my early flies from last year.
Early flights.
I don't remember what
Jeremiah.
happened this morning.
Oh, what happened this morning?
I don't remember, so I'm not going to remember what you did at the start of last season.
Oh, good. No, that's old age. That's completely fine.
I know.
And another guy who I'm going to take, who I really like his outlook, just to add me some more steals to compete, and his dual positionality around here, is my good friend, Mr. Grayson Allen. Lots of points and threes.
There was news yesterday that Dennis Schroeder has been traded to the Hornets as well. Does that impact Grayson Allen?
No, I think Schroeder is one of the most movable pieces. I'm completely fine with it still. I think that's just another backup there for them. I think Kobe White is the entrenched starter. Grayson Allen is really more of a two-guard there as well. I see there's a lot of, we talk about the space and pace that they can do. Also, Grayson Allen can play small forward and shooting guard off, so he'll be used as a six-man of the year kind of candidate. Also, he could start if he needs to. So I think that's fine. And Schroeder might just be a veteran presence in the locker room at this point in his career and just get some limited minutes. I'm not really too concerned with Dennis going there yet, but I do like what Grayson Allen can do with a dual positionality around here, because I don't see a lot of other guys around here that I'm really into in that guard forward spot.
Speaking of Schroeder, I think he's actually played for half the teams in the NBA, and I'm not exaggerating. I think he's probably
Has he got the jersey rainbow yet?
It's not far off. It's not far off. I think of all active players, he's played for the most teams. So, yeah, quite outstanding, if you could say it that way. All right, my pick's coming up. Mitchell Robinson, sorry, Kingy, he's been taken already. He's off the board.
There he goes, Kingy. I know you wanted that one.
That's sad.
Diabate. I'm going to go Jaime. I want to touch the Jaime. We spoke about Jaime Jaquez, different situation. Peterson was another guy that I had. So he's gone straight after Jaime Jaquez. So real late round flies, but this is what it's for, guys. Let's just say,
you don't often see Kingy drop with this much emotion, but there's a little bit of emotion and head rolling and tilting from you this afternoon, this evening, Adam King.
Yeah, it's my first quick draft of the season. So it is. It
feels rusty, doesn't it? It feels like what's going on? Like it's
we're so used to the slow draft. 6 hours per.
Yeah,
30 seconds instead. Jimmy Butler,
he's also Australian, by the way, and Kingy not setting, like, just pausing a draft overnight so all the Americans can catch up, and I wake up and it's back to me, and I'm like, oh geez, it's 5 a.m. guys, come on.
Yeah, I don't pause it for us. No. Oh man, what am I doing here?
While Adam King thinks about that one, Jimmy Butler taken in the 12th round. That's just pure upside, hoping that we can stash him away until. Look, I've heard rumors around return by December. I don't see it. I think we heard the same thing with Kyrie last season. But Jimmy Butler, are we interested at all in the 12th
round? Depends on your IR settings, I think. If you can just dump him in an IR spot, then sure.
Yeah, Quentin Grimes at the Lakers now, straight after Jimmy Butler. You've gone Johnson of the Mavs, rookie.
I have, yeah. Just let me have a look here. I probably need
Followed
to get
by
another.
PJ Washington, Herb Jones, and
I need another guard. I don't even like this player, but I'm going to draft him because I think at 100.
I was going to say, I thought Anthony Black was on there. He was in my queue, and I was going to say, where are you going to start sniping?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I really don't think he's great, but he was good last year. Nothing much has changed other than other players being healthy, but he should still play a sixth-man role, and he can get 1.2, 1.3 steals for me.
Yeah.
Okay, Ace Bailey, sophomore season, straight after Brown of the Nets. RJ Barrett for those points.
2 more picks.
Drew Holiday, he will be probably playing off the bench behind Ja Morant and Dame Lillard. But, of course, Lillard's going to have some rest days, so Drew's going to have a bit of an explosion on those days as well. And there's also been talk of a buyout as well. By all accounts, Drew will hang around for a little bit of time. I'm on the clock. Maxime Reynaud was just taken. I'm going to go for another big man, rookie guy, Steinbach.
You're doing it.
In the event that he could be the starting center, I think it's a decent upside play here. Are we assuming
I can't wait for the preseason to answer those questions for us. Oh, look at this. The Diabate Lopez combo at the end there, King. It makes you a little bit envious, doesn't it?
Not Lopez.
Not Lopez.
Diabate is nice there, but as D-Mac said there, who maybe Steinbach starts. I don't know.
Yeah. And again, I'm just hoping that's the case, and that's why I'm grabbing him in the 13th round. Diabate, I'd expect to be the starting center, but you just don't know. Brook Lopez, old man.
Does he know that Gary Payton the second maybe not going to be as healthy. Do we check on that?
Not sure about that one, but Cam Johnson straight after Gary Payton.
Yeah.
Cam Johnson, we were quite high on going into the start of last season. Obviously had very low usage with
I know the opposite.
Jokic and Jamal Murray.
Hold on, let me just get his name real quick. 1 second. I got the anti-Cam.
Anti-Cam. Antithesis.
A guy who none of us were on last season, who I think actually had an absolutely tremendous season. And remember when I saw that game down in what's his name, in Melbourne? Yeah, he just looked really good there. So I'm going to run with that one. And
you called me from there saying Sadiq looks really good.
And just to take off any blocks that I can at the last minute from Kingy. Robert Williams.
Robert Williams backing up Klingen. Again, per minute beast, but again, Klingen should be holding that down.
100%.
Naismith, Keon Ellis, new team at the Nets as well. My pick is coming up. I did like that one. But the guy that we spoke about on our show, Matty G, Lenderborg, but I'm thinking Guy Santos could actually start. So I'm taking Guy. Is it Santos or is it Lenderborg?
These guys. This is the upside time. Like, just take it to your last minute. Even with Robert Williams, would love the blocks there, but if he's going to be too injured and not playing every second night, going to stash him in IR, stream that spot in for what I need, and that's fine. Because it does open up a roster spot having a guy like that who is going to be injured. I don't think we talk about that enough. Like, if you know a guy is going to be resting and you do have at least 2 IR spots and you're not going to be really weighed down, it can get really log jammy. But at the same time, we can use that, stash them. What do you need that week? Okay, we'll stash him for those 2 games. Get what you need if you're going to be winning blocks by a long way that week. Get what you need and then bring him out of IR if he's eligible.
That's it.
Love A-Cuff there. Love that.
Yeah, A-Cuff. There's your man, Malawach in the 14th, 14-7 Kingies. Vucevic, don't really know what his role will be. Back with his old team, assuming that he'll be behind Wendell Carter Jr.
Who's not gone. People just hate Wendell Carter Jr.
Yeah, he's just not exciting. He's probably the poorer man's version of Tobias Harris. Even more unexciting than Tobias Harris. Now, this is your last pick, Kingy, and this is rounding out the entire draft.
Yeah.
Are you going for points finally? You're just going to roll the dice on Shade and Sharp for no reason?
Doesn't really fit my bill, does he?
It doesn't.
I don't know. I'll go Melton.
Yeah, good pick there. I like it.
Putting him in my queue just as someone that I wanted to talk about after. Well, that's it. That's the draft, guys.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Quick wrap up. How did that feel? It's a little bit rusty, as you said. Very rusty. Very quick. But this is what mock drafts are all about, guys. It's just getting rid of those cobwebs and just getting used to the situation, understanding where you may be picking in your draft as well. If you know that beforehand, go and practice. And some of the guys that entered this draft did ask for certain positions. These 2 gentlemen joining me today, they did as well, and a couple of others in the draft room as well. So get used to that. Any standouts for you guys in your own team or any other teams?
Look, I'm going to come and say I got a bit frisky and risky, and then I pivoted away from that until the very end. So I tried to just go with guys at the beginning who was, again, best on board. Definitely accentuated that with Kawhi Leonard at the end of the second round. Again, in the second round, wherever you pick, whether it is pick 13 or pick 24, I'm just the largest proponent of get a guy who you think can also get you first-round value. Because then after your second round, you're sitting with 2 first-round value players, and that's a really good base. It's a really good floor for the foundation of your fantasy home. And then if it's not a snake draft like this, and again, in this very way as well, this is where third-round reversals, and Kingy was really good at picking up Jamal Murray here. Sorry, not Jamal Murray, Chet Holmgren here. He's a guy who's also fringe first roundy that he's picking up at the beginning of his third round with the 26th pick overall in the draft. So that's really attractive, and that's exactly what you should be doing. So I love that. And then seeing Kyrie Irving sitting there at the beginning of that round, and third round reversal is where it can flip that for you. Complement your first round pick in that third round. I think it's always a smart way to play it so you can get the best available first round upshot in the second, and then get some of these frisky, risky guys like Kyrie. I love that. Tyler Hero, a new one. Like, I just build off what you want, but I think that's a really good way to play it. In your second round, aim for first round value, period and simple. Can you? What about
Absolutely.
You? Yeah, look, I don't hate my team. I don't love it. A few guys, I think I'm kind of going to end up planting my flag in Colin Murray-Boyles and Johan Berenjay. I think are two players that I'm going to be kind of advocate for. The Thompson twins.
Can I also join you, just so you know, if you're going to be the captain of that ship, can I just wear a little co-pilot cap on the CMB thing? I love him.
Yeah. I think he was really good to finish last season. So
he was.
And I don't really see Pirtle coming in and playing 30 minutes a night. So I like him. Thompson twins. I mean, they always fit what I'm trying to do in this build. I would have liked Kessler in there, but obviously you were kind of leaning into a similar build at the start there. So, look, I think Flag's an interesting one for me. Obviously, I took him at 11, and I was planning to take him at 11th. The fact that Halliburton was there kind of threw me off a bit. The reason I think with Flag why I wanted to take him is figure out what the best punt build for Cooper Flag is, and I probably didn't utilize him to the best of his abilities because he will get assists, out of position assists. So I think you could use him in a punt big man build, but I went in the other direction. So I think I'll tweak that as I do more and more of these mocks, but. Pretty happy with my team, and the projected standings, which I can see over here on my other screen, have me beating everyone 5-4. So I guess I did my job.
Yeah, and that's with punt build. That's with punt build on though, right?
Pardon?
With punting on, with just punting off turnovers and.
Yeah, punting, turnovers, assists, free throws, and threes. Not turnovers. Sorry. Points, threes, assists, and free throws. Yeah. So winning the other 5 categories against everyone in the league, but obviously it's early. It's projections, so it doesn't mean a lot.
It is
projections.
It's early. It is that'll win you a championship, though. That's all you need.
And I was going to say that, Kingy, because I was in the league. It was the Locked On Fantasy Bowl. I made it to the final stages, and we all got thrashed by a guy that just beat everyone 5-4. Similar strategy. Had Wemby, which helps. A lot of that was predicated on Wemby. So. You've gone a different direction with Flag at 11, which is good. It's very effective. It's not for everyone. I tend not to draft that way. I tend to draft more balanced. In this draft, I've gone for a real lack of big men, which is concerning. And again, I'll need to tweak my strategy, but I've gone for real upside wings. And
you got Yusuf Nurkic. Well. Hold on. You did get Yusuf Nurkic there too, Matt.
I got my guy, but probably a little bit too early. But I'm still pretty happy with some of the guys that dropped to me with some value. Derek White in the 4th round, I think, is pretty good. I'm really big on Austin Reeves. And yes, 2-8 may seem early for some. I just want to go back to Tyrese Halliburton. 2-3, you guys said that you were interested at the back end of the 1st round if he was there for you guys potentially. I'm probably leaning away from that. I'm really scared that in terms of head-to-head, I would probably pick him up in the middle of the 2nd round, but towards the back end of the 1st round, I'm not sure I've got the balls to do it. It probably reap the benefits and I'll look really silly, but I don't think I will grab him in the 1st round. Am I being stupid?
Yes.
And that's fine. That's fine. I don't know if I can do it. There will be missed games.
Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. But I don't think you're being dumb. I think you're being cautious. I think though, I don't know what he's projected at right now. I would anticipate that if you look at any set for him, I know they just came out and Matt Smith messaged yesterday. I've got to check their projections. If you check Basketball Monster, I'm sure he's going to be 1st round. Hashtag will have him. ESPN. Everyone's going to have him in the 1st round somewhere. And I think that's for good reason. The one thing I will say on that and why I believe that you're very good cautious for a reason. Before, not last season, because obviously he missed it, right? But the season before, Tyrese Halliburton had the most atrocious start to the season. Do you guys remember that, where he was like a buy low candidate?
I had him everywhere. I was one of the biggest fans.
You were one of the advocates for him. I remember this. And I think that also a few managers remember that, because if he's the same after last season, not coming back and looking as good, he's going to be like, I saw him trade in the league for Jalen Williams in a league. And this is when Jalen Williams wasn't having a great start to the season. And so I remember seeing that trade, and it blew up a league. Everyone was like, oh, what's this? But Tyrese Halliburton was outside the top 150, top 200 players at a point there. So I think you're being cautious for good reason. Do I think if you don't have that pick, I do think that because of the amount of assists, I remember we talked about a DMAC last year, Kingy, you're with me on this one as well. I know we spoke about it. Look at the guys returning. They're going to bring assists back into the fold this year. And last year, the big assist guy in the first round was pretty much only Trae Young. James Harden doesn't do that anymore to that 10 a game that we could get from him with being split in Cleveland. It's kind of like if you're going for a build like that, you want to build off assists. It's kind of Tyrese and Cade in that first round now, and Luka, obviously, that are really going to be those first round assist guys for you to build off that build.
Absolutely. Yeah, the elite assist is something that I tend to go for. Yeah. Jason Tatum, just sneaky value with the assists. I think that he may be facilitating a lot more than what we've seen in the past as well. So keep that in mind as well. Looking at Tatum, I think he's going to have an outstanding season. That's a wrap, guys. Thank you so much. We're going to have a lot more of these as well. First of very, very many for the off-season, for the preseason as well. But thanks so much, guys. Catch you soon. Take us through what's next, guys, very quickly, and where we can find you.
Go, Kingy.
Where can you find me? Twitter at AdamKing91. RotoWire stuff is kind of happening in the background, so articles are starting to come out already. Player outlooks, I have no idea if they're up yet. I wrote 317 of them, so I'm hoping that they go up soon. And then obviously podcasts, mock drafts. We're starting another mock draft tomorrow morning. Currently doing.
That's at 5 a.m. So that's on auto pick for me. Yeah.
I've currently in a dynasty startup, RotoWire dynasty startup, and I had the second pick. My first 4 picks in that league are Cooper Flagg, Cam Boozer, Dylan Harper, Jalen Duren. So I've gone very young.
Gone young.
Yeah, that's
so. Me in 5 years will be very happy with that team, I hope. Probably not this season. But yeah, so all my stuff's there. All my stuff's on Twitter, and it shows and everything, so people know where to find me.
Awesome. Thanks, King. And Matty G?
You can find me at NBAGWiz on Instagram and on X. I start up all of my shows on both Old Man Squad this week. I have a bunch of fantasy 101. So if you've never really played fantasy before, or if you've got friends who want to get into fantasy, I'm doing being the best at the basics set. So we're going to go over settings for Fantrax, for ESPN, and for Yahoo. Basically WTF. Like WTF is punting. And so I'm going to give you a breakdown of what is punting, what is streaming, what are these things that people talk about but they don't know about yet. So that series is going to start up this week. We're going to have Fantasy in 5 breakdowns of the top 100 players. So 100 players in 5 minutes or less, so you can know what they bring to the party. And that's going to include miniature team breakdowns as well with those players. So they're all coming up this week. And you can find me on Believe in Fantasy as well. And 2 shows a week there starting from this week.
Awesome. Thanks, Matty. You can find me on Twitter and all things social media at NBA Fantasy Bible. Make sure you go check out some of the previous episodes. I've had these gentlemen on with me. We've broken down early Fantrax ADP. We'll break down some other ADP once Yahoo releases theirs. I know ESPN ranks came out as well, looking quite silly, but we will also have some points league mock drafts as well to suit those guys that do play points leagues. But thank you again, guys, and until next time, thanks a lot. See ya.